What's good, YouTube? It's your guy Mike Harvey back in the building on another episode. And tonight we have published author Tenady Mason with us. How you doing this evening, Mrs. Tenady Mason?
Hey, my king brother, my soul brother, how are you?
I have no complaints. Did I? So I pronounced your name right, right?
No,
Oh my lord! And that's the cold part about it. We went over this a couple of times, and I still managed to butcher it. I'm gonna
no
get it
worries.
right.
You will.
Um, so can you give for clarity for all of us slow people? Can you please give clarity on the proper pronunciation of your name?
You said with me. Tay,
Tay,
nay,
nay,
nee,
nee. I said
tay,
that. Tay, nay, nee.
tay, nee, tay, nay,
Huh?
nee,
You said
tay,
Tay.
nay, nee, tay, nay, nee. So the accent marks over both E says A, tay, nay, nee, tay, nay, nee.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? I realize I see.
Wisconsin.
I'm using my West Oakland language, so I mean my dialect might be my A may sound like an E,
No
so I
worries.
get it. All right.
That's
So, um, you are a published author, right?
I am.
Okay. Just for the sake of background, can you tell us where you from?
Well, I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, relocated to Scottsdale, Arizona, almost 2 years ago now.
Okay. Um, how what brought you with with our, if you don't mind speaking on it, with when did you move and why did you move?
Well, I moved almost 2 years ago, and I really, I don't want to
Well,
really. I'll answer your
you don't
question.
have to
How?
go.
Pardon me.
Okay, go ahead. No, excuse me for cutting you off. I didn't want to. I don't. If I didn't want to be, I don't. Excuse me if I asked the intrusive question. I didn't want to go into.
No,
I didn't want
no,
to.
no worries. It's just that my memoir will be published this month, so I'm not going to give too much. However,
Okay, okay, okay.
I am going to
All right.
give. So there, it's I would say, um, the best cancer specialists are here. However, my husband, he does have has cancer. We thought that we were going to relocate to Chattanooga, Tennessee. God said no, so we are obedient and came here. However, at that time, no, I did not know why Arizona when we were supposed to had been relocating to Chattanooga, Tennessee, but I see why now. The best specialists are here.
Okay. Um, we got you into writing.
Well, wow. I've always been very creative and I've always won contests for creative writing, poetry. I've always won certificates, awards, and trophies, and I've always said I had a story to tell. So just being creative and writing ever since I was a little girl.
Okay. Okay. What was have you? Is this the very first the book? How many books do you have out? Let me ask that question first.
Out published one.
Yeah, published.
Yes.
Just one.
One that's published. Yes.
Okay. Um, have you ever published any of your other works, such as
No,
poetry or anything? Okay. Okay.
no, not
Um,
published. Um, no, that's a thought, right?
yeah.
Thank
I
you.
mean, nah, I don't know why I thought about Maya Angelou for some reason. You know what I mean? You know, she published a lot of her poems and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's what made me ask that question.
Thank you.
And
Hmm.
I know some other published poets, who, you know, well, they actually poets who convert themselves into rappers later on, one way or another. So it just
Okay.
crossed my thoughts though.
You.
Uh, so can you tell us about your book?
Sure. Sure. The name of how it came, how my biblical. You mind if I show it?
Go right ahead.
You don't mind? Well,
I have no problem.
so how my biblical book came about. My grandmother. I'm sure a lot of us will. I don't know if that's fair to say a lot of us. However, some of us, our grandparents read the daily word, no, daily bread to us. And this book is in honor of my grandmother. She would sit us down and we would read. She would read the daily bread to us. It was 365 days every day. For those of you that remember the daily bread, a verse every day. So the name of my book is Daily Affirmations from the Lord's Prayer. It is a devotional meditation prayer book. 365 days every day. You're going to get scrumptious food. A verse every day, scrumptious food. And so it's available on Barnes and Noble's. Barnes and Noble. You all, pardon me, I got distracted for a moment. Barnes and Noble's, Amazon, Kobo, and Apple, and a lot more places. I am Nation, all over the nations.
Okay, it's great to hear. It's great to hear. Take you out of that. I had put the main screen on you so the people can see your book. And
Oh, did they see
that's why
it?
I did that. Uh,
Did the world
I didn't
see
hear
it?
you.
Did the world see it?
I saw it, so I mean, it,
So the
it,
world.
it yeah. So I mean, um,
My my memoir, it's going to be, well, I'm pushing this month. However, if not, my twin sister and I birthday, we're Cinco de Mayo babies, May 5th. It's going to be in the world. That is the book that I don't want to say too much, but I'll let you ask more questions.
um, so I mean, I don't want to get too much into it either. But I mean, so
Okay.
but I do have to ask some questions that
Come on with it.
so we spoke on what interests you. You said that you you said that that's something you've been doing as a child, like writing and writing poems. Like how old was you when you wrote your first poem?
I would say, I would say maybe 7 or 8, elementary, second, third grade, maybe. That's fair to say.
Okay. Did was that a competition you was in, or was it just
I'm I was. And you want to know the name of it? So,
sure,
yeah,
absolutely?
I do not remember their very first poem, however. I remember mine. So the name of it was
You said I didn't hear you. You said it was who?
God. God.
Oh God. Okay.
Just
I
God.
noticed. I noticed you're a very spiritual person, and that's a blessing. Is
Amen.
that is it? Um. So you come from so your family come from a you come from a very spiritual family, I would presume, right?
No, you're wrong.
You, you
You
said,
would think
"Oh, I'm
you
wrong
would,
about something." That's right. Correct me then. I couldn't. All right. So,
you really
Sebis, huh?
You really would think that. And then when you read my memoir, you would never believe what my sisters and I, my twin sister and baby sister, endured and what we went through and what we are today. You would. Well, where my twin sister and I are today, you would never believe the things that you read, but it's all true in my memoir. So
Well,
my
uh huh.
mhm. so
Go
my
ahead.
parents my parents I would say that they were not Muslims, however they practiced Muslim, and they allowed us to make our own decision, and they didn't, force it upon us. And we were raised Baptist. However, you know, as being 51 and a half, I have to call my twin sister. I think I'm 51 and a half. These children and grands are making me age. However, as
Well,
an adult,
I'm listening. As
as
an
an
adult,
adult, yes, as an adult, I've come to find that I don't want a name. I don't want a name on me to say that I'm Baptist and or I'm Christian or apostolic faith, or I could just go on and on. I walk I walk with Jesus. I'm spiritual. And I think that would be fair to say that I walk with God and I'm spiritual. So
okay,
I'm an adult now and I can make decisions of my own.
fair enough. Fair enough. And spoken, well spoken. I had so many. I got so many questions. I should have wrote a lot of these things down because I know we speak a lot on Clubhouse as well. And
Yes.
and I was been sitting here all day. I'm like, what am I going? This you are actually the second interview I've done within the last 3 hours, and I was in the last interview thinking about what questions I'm going to ask in this one. Now I'm in this interview.
Okay,
I've
take your
only
time.
asked like half of them. So let me see.
Take your
I'm
time.
really, I'm really fighting myself right now. I normally I pride myself on my punctuality, but forgive me.
Come on, King.
I'm working.
Come on, King.
So
Come on.
let me just ask you. You and I met in Rob Benson's room,
Yes.
and um, people may not know who Rob Benson is, but he is a let's just call him a social networker to the 10th power. You know,
Okay.
because that's the best way
Uh,
to describe him. He's a social networker to the 10th power, and on Clubhouse. And you and I met in the Tubi room that he creates. Pretty much advertising the shows and things that are involved with the Tubi station. Do you, from your works, or are you in a process of any kind of screenplay from any of your works?
wow. It's quite ironic that you asked that. I'm not in the process. However, I see it. I feel it. I've been told. Um, to answer your question, no, I'm not in the process. However, when my memoir is in the world and reach nations, because it is going to be a global phenomenon. Okay. Um, it's going to be in the making. I just know.
Okay. How long did it take you to write your book? How long did it take you to write it?
Well, to be honest with you, to get it out of my head, my mind, my thoughts, my soul, I would say 7 weeks. Okay, stay with me.
No, I'm still
Um,
here.
I was not, I did not. It may I tell you my testimony?
Absolutely.
I would love to share with you and the world and nations my testimony. I did not write my book, my memoir, or my biblical book on my own. I was told. I was walking in the doctor's office one day, and a lady, in all the years of going to my doctor's appointment, I've never seen the receptionist from behind the desk. So this one particular day, I hear Tanini Tanani people. They can't pronounce our name, some can. However, you came really, really close, so I'm proud of you. So I turn around and it's her. And she's running behind me. So she goes, I've been waiting for you. I say, who, me? She said, yes. So I like to share that at my doctor's office. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay.
I just
So
put you on
so
a single screen.
okay, so at my doctor's office, it's super crowded all the time. And then the elevators are even more just super crowded. And so her and I, we entered the elevator, we went up, we went down. We had church in the elevator. I met God in the elevator. God spoke through her to me. He used her as a vessel to tell me my mission. She said, God said, write your book. You have a story to tell. I said, what? And so I said, oh my, I was raised to never question God, to ask Him. So when am I supposed to be writing this book? So what I did was I asked Him, would He tell me when to write my book? And as I've said, I've always won creative writing and poetry contests, and I've always said I had a story to tell as a little girl. However, I've never said that I was going to be an author or write a book. My twin and I, we've always been told, do you all know that you can write a book? You all should write a book. Are you going to write a book? So I can't take this away from God, that's for sure, because look at me today, world. I am an author, and I've never said that I was going to be or that I was going to write a book. So her last words to me as she was exiting the elevator were, and God said it's going to be a number one bestseller. I say, what? I say, okay, I receive. And so yeah, everyone they were just looking at us, in confusion, wondering were we okay, because the elevator was going up and down past them, never stopping, not once. And so that's where I am at with my testimony. Yes.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. You told me. I mean, it ain't nothing impossible for God to do. So I mean, everything is within. And when God's for you, who can be against you? So it's the
Amen.
truth.
Amen.
So
So may I just say one more thing?
right here.
So when I asked God, would He tell me when? I think that the family members thought that maybe I was grandiose. I do not know. Because for years, I would say to my husband, you're married to a number one best-selling author. Your wife is a number one best-selling author. I would tell my children. I would tell my twin sister. I would tell the girls, your mommy is number one best-selling author. Um, Not too often did I tell the girls. However, when then my twin, I would go, your twin sister, number one best-selling author. And so that I think they would say, oh, here she goes again. Because I'm going to tell you why. Things doesn't happen in our timing. Things happen in God's timing, because it was 70 years later when He told me to write. And I did.
Okay. Okay. Um. And I mean, like, how do you go about the process when you went about the process of compiling this book?
Pardon
What was
me?
your process like when you went about the process of compiling your book? Like what is the like? I've been getting asked a lot to write a book myself. So like when you're writing a book, how do you start? You start through chapters or like what's the process?
Well, Each individual are different. Even my twin sister and I, we are identical. However, we're we're individual. We're different somewhat. Um, I can speak for myself. What I did was I went chapters one. Well, I wrote 1 through 10. Then I started from birth all the way until um, I would say now. And what I did was I just made 10 chapters, 1 through 10, 10 chapters. Really, to be honest with you, I tried my best to have 10 pages per chapter, starting with maybe chapter one. Um, from as far as I can remember, 3 years old, um, and maybe chapter two, just throughout your life, from the time you can remember until the present moment now, and you just go through and just make your chapters that way. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. You answered it just fine. You answered it just fine. Um,
Okay.
I know everybody had a different style upon which they do it, but I seen your book, and your book. It's not a small one. It's not a quick read at all. It's like, to me, from just from eyesight, it's like one of those books that you really going to have to take sit back and take your time reading. I
Yes.
love those kind of books actually. But outside of that, in your memoir, like what's ahead in the future? What do you have,
Oh,
like, outside of that? What's ahead?
so what's ahead for Tanini Mason is I'm on my mission with my anthologies. And my anthologies, what I do is I help and encourage people to tell their God given stories and become co authors. I've always said everyone has a God given story to tell from all walks of life, all corners of the earth, and all ages. So my twin sister goes, publish 100 anthologies. So did I say I'm on my mission with my anthology series? I think I did say that. I am so distracted. Rural and King, please forgive me to
It's
say
all
both.
good. It's all
There's others that are distracting me. However, my anthology series, my twin sister, she goes, publish 100 of them. I say, what? And they're always teasing me about this. What? And so I said, that's going to be a series, or make the books a series or sequel. So I go, what are we going to go with? And so we decided that we were going to go with series, so anthology series. Um, as long as I live here on earth, if God allows me, I'm going to write 100 anthologies. Have published 100
okay.
anthologies. I
That
also
is
have
a
my
great.
I also have my podcast as well, for people that are not interested in, you know, having their God-given stories in my anthology series. They may be interested in telling their God-given stories vocally on my podcast.
Okay. In which I have been invited, I might
That's right.
add.
That is so
And
true. That
yeah, we go definitely put that together. You
Amen.
know, soon enough. Uh,
To have. Mhm.
is there anything left you would like for uh your potential followers and the people who may read your book to know about you?
Absolutely. For the world and for the nations to know, Tanani Mason, I never even mentioned that I am a Marquis Susu listee. I was nominated, I was honored and celebrated for creative writing once. And then I was nominated, celebrated, and for my apologies, for top artist. So two times I was nominated and honored and celebrated, creative writing and top. artist. And then, so I'm also bringing into the world, oh my, now this would be in honor of my parents because I remember this book that it was a activity book. And I can remember my sisters and I working in this activity book with my parents. So, children's activity comic books and my affirmation books, not my biblical affirmations from the Lord's Prayer, just a affirmations book. So, yes, that is. Oh, and no, I won't say anymore. That's it.
I know that.
For,
I know that. I noticed a lot of people are writing children's book nowadays. Is that a new trend?
pardon me.
I noticed a lot of people are writing children's book nowadays. Is that a new trend? Is that like the thing of today?
This is since this Chat GPT and all has the new software and the AI and all. It's really simple and easy to just right get these books written in a matter of minutes. However, mines are going to be hard. I'm very industrious woman, and it's just very everything is just very easy to do today with that
Okay.
software. However, me personally, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. However, for me myself, it's coming from Tanani Mason, all of it.
Okay. Um. With that said, I'm not gonna hold you too much longer because I know I started late tonight. Um. Unfortunately. And not only that, I came unprepared, but I think we got some good. We got to know a lot about you,
Okay.
at least enough that will hold the viewers until they read your memoir and as well as your book, in which we look forward to seeing. And this is not gonna be the last time we see you on this podcast, God willing. I look forward to the next time we follow up on some things, and
Yes,
I
King.
look forward to seeing you on your podcast as well. So with that said, I'm not gonna hold you too much longer, and thank you for joining us.
You're very
Uh,
welcome for having me. It was a pleasure and an honor. And I'm breaking generational curses. This is history in the making for my family and I. I'm looking forward to building multi generational wealth and retiring us all. Yes, you too.
absolutely,
You too.
absolutely, absolutely. They say, I mean, you say you got to be around the best in order to be the best. So
Amen.
I guess I'm surrounded around the best. So that's it. God bless you, and
God,
I'll see you soon.
see you soon. Peace.